Hello and welcome to LivJam Limitless, where the aim is to do it all. This is Livingston, and today I'll be playing the 7th chapter of the Royal Romance. So, let's do it. Chapter 7. Things get chilly when you travel to Olivia's home. Will you and the prince make some heat, or will you get frozen out? Let's play. The Royal Romance. Chapter 7. Fire and Ice. Alright, I'ma bring them fire. Traveling away from the palace. You find yourself in the Alps. You and Maxwell, along with Drake and Hannah, stand on a vista overlooking the Navrakis Chateau. Chateau, right? Here we are. Welcome to Lithcos, land of ice, snow, and mountains. Awesome. This is where Olivia lives? Some of the time, yeah. She's primarily at Lithcos Hall, which is further south, but she'll host us up here for the social season so we can take advantage of the snowy festivities. And so she can take advantage of the prince? She does have the edge here, but that's no reason to admit defeat. That's the spirit. What happened to your brother, Maxwell? I notice he's not around lecturing millions. Is he calling me by my last name now? Wow, that's weird. I thought he hated to miss out on the chance to eat fancy food and rub elbows with the royals. Bertrand was called away for some business having to do with our estate. Oh, Bertrand is gone? He isn't all bad. He's got a nice side underneath that stern brow of his. We're out in the Alps. Surely there are better things to do than talk about Bertrand. You are the one that started it, Drake. Hypocrite. I think we could enjoy the outdoors more. It's beautiful out here, even if it is so very cold. Didn't you pack anything warmer? Not exactly. I didn't realize it'd be snowing quite this much, but I'll survive. What say we check out the inside of the chateau? Good idea. Sarah, let's go. I can show you where your room is. Thank you, kind Maxwell. Soon your party arrives at the Navrakis Chateau. You follow Maxwell into the lavish and grand estate and up to your bedroom. Come on, Sarah, put your stuff down so we can go. What's your rush? We've got an entire day in the snow planned out. Plus I already see Olivia and Richard out there on the ice. Oh man, she's fast. Better put on something warm. Let's find something warm. The Snow Bunny outfit will keep you warm in the snow and unlock an exclusive story choice later in this chapter. Well, I'm going for that. What is my other option? I'm gonna die of cold in this dress. I'm gonna wear this. Snow Bunny. Winter fashionista, you've unlocked Snow Bunny in the closet. This is going to be perfect for the snow. Well, obviously. Here we go. Back outside, Maxwell leads you towards the frozen lake where you both don a pair of ice skates. So we're gonna ice skate now. You know how to ice skate, right? Not sure about that. Ice skating. Watch me skate circles around you. Won't you fall into the lake then? Be my guest. On the ice, several guests are already skating around in pairs, including Prince Richard and Olivia at the center of the lake. Don't tell me you've forgotten just how well I can skate. Oh, I very much remember. Remember to keep your eyes on the prize, that is, Prince Richard. Now, get out there and grab some time with the prince while I distract Olivia. Oh, thank you, Maxwell. Should I call him Max? Max. Max would be such a nice cute name for it. Maxwell waves at Olivia from where he stands. Olivia, you gotta see me do a spin. Don't move. Turning back to you, Maxwell winks and hip checks you, sending you sailing across the ice. Go get him, princess. Oh, I will. Whoa. I should. Catch myself. Shifting your weight around, you manage to firmly balance yourself and skate over to Prince Richard. Lady Sarah, a pleasure to see you, as always. You're a vision of grace on those skates. Thank you. I take it you've come to skate with me today? Well, obviously. Sure. That was my hope. Then please accompany me. Richard offers you his hand. I should. Let's be polite. I should take his hand. You take Richard's hand, entwining your fingers together. Gladly. You skate out alongside Richard. You look very lovely today and warm. Would you like to share that heat, Richard? Yeah, definitely glad I put on this coat. Do you and the coat come out here regularly? Coat and coat? Not often. However, when we do, Olivia's always been very generous by having us at her estate. But actually, I used to come out here frequently when I was younger. Olivia and I would play in the snow together. You and Olivia, huh? Tell me more about that. We'd build little snow forts on the bank and catapult snowballs at each other. That's nice. The lake was too dangerous to play on since we were young, but sometimes we'd sneak onto the ice in hopes that we could see fish beneath the surface. We never did, but we had many exciting falls, times. You two must have been close. We were. It's been hard watching her, well, become who she is. I know Olivia can be a tough person to get along with. She's basically the opposite of you. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Opposites attract, remember? Sarah, you're so stupid. Man, I shouldn't have said that. Olivia had a difficult childhood. Her parents were killed in a political assassination when she was only 5 years old. Oh man, that's heartbreaking too. She was alone, without family at her estate for the better part of a year before my parents and I officially visited. She was supposed to be in the care of her great aunt, but the woman had left to summer on the Riviera, abandoning her. Olivia didn't have anyone. She was so alone. Did she have servants? The servants were doing their best, but they were traditionalists. Nevraka's family trained for decades. After a lifetime of holding the nobility up on a pedestal, they weren't prepared to give her what she needed most, which is love. Of course, you can't expect servants to love their owners. I mean, that's really out of the question. The first few days of our visit, she was sullen and withdrawn. I thought she hated me. But one night, I heard her sobbing through the wall. I actually believed it was a ghost at first, but once I got over my fear and decided to investigate, there she was, little 5-year-old Olivia, weeping and clutching one of her mother's gowns, saying over and over again, "Come back, please come back." Man, that is sad, dude. I knelt beside her and held her until she cried herself to sleep. I knew we couldn't leave her there. I convinced my parents to invite her to live at the palace with us. For almost 2 months, she wouldn't leave my side. Just about drove crazy actually, but just then, Olivia skates over, interrupting your conversation. Oh man, he was going to say something. That Maxwell is a persistent one. He can be high energy. Yes, I can tell. Olivia turns a sharp-toothed smile on you. So, Sarah, I bet you've never seen a countryside this spectacular. Aren't you impressed? Don't try to intimidate me, Olivia. Impressed? Actually, it's gorgeous. Your home is truly lovely. The snow, the lake, the trees. It's absolutely breathtaking. Hopeless relationship. Oh, well, yes, it is. She wasn't really expecting that kind of a reply from me. So she's damn shocked. I'm glad even someone like you can appreciate the elegance and splendor of nature. Well, she did become her rude self again. Olivia wraps her arm around Richard's. Now, Prince Richard, I believe you owe me a round across the lake. Excuse me, Sarah. I do owe her. I will see you later. Olivia and Richard skate off together. Olivia releases Richard's arm, snaking her hand into his. Ugh. Looking around, you see the other nobles trying to skate and catch Kiara sliding across the lake on her stomach. Oops. Oof. Sad, sad, sad situation. I don't think I can balance on these. This ice hasn't even been resurfaced. My skates are too expensive for this. This guy, I just hate this guy. I'm just telling. I'm just saying, I just hate him. Hannah glides across the ice, skating backwards. She circles around you. Okay, finally we do have one good skater here. Looks like Olivia stole Richard from you. Olivia? It's fine. I mean, she did have a very, very sad childhood. Richard has obligations. I don't take it personally. That's level-headed of you. Well, of course. It's me. Duh. Hannah twirls gracefully before coming to a full stop beside you. Where'd you learn to skate like that? It couldn't have been with the other ladies, obviously. Ow, mon posterior. That means her butt, right? I think so. Ice skating is one of the things my parents sent me to lessons for. That's an unusual choice. I had soccer and basketball practice. It's a skill I learned to appeal to suitors. I was told a display of elegance can go a long way. This was part of your training? But do you even like ice skating? Oh, you know, it's okay. Okay, that's not very convincing. When my parents were selecting my activities, whether or not I enjoyed something wasn't a factor they considered. Now I find myself with all sorts of skills that I honestly haven't much interest in. Olivia returns with Richard. Why does everyone have such a dramatic backstory, dude? Olivia returns with Richard. Alright everyone, it's time to hit the slopes. Due mercy. Skiing must be easier than this, right? Finally a use for that professional ski equipment I bought 3 years ago. Go just go away. I don't know. Don't be here. I don't like you. I just hate you. One ski lift later. You and the rest of the group crest the top of the slope. Drake skis up beside you. So Williams, you finally made it to the slopes. What's wrong, Drake? Were you starting to miss me? Hardly. I was just getting bored. You didn't go skating? Figure skating isn't really my thing. Really? I think you'd look good in a tutu. What's a tutu? Some mental images aren't worth the effort. I suppose skiing is manly enough for you. I'd hardly call what's going on here skiing, but I'm looking to change that. How about a race? Oh, I'm down for a race. What makes you think I can ski? Maybe I'm starting to have faith in you, Williams. This is so weird that he has started calling my last name all of a sudden. Has he called me by my last name before? I don't think so. Drake, you're scaring me with your niceness. This relationship, I'm scaring myself. Anyway, I'm going to start skiing down the slope in a minute, and if I get to the bottom before you, well, let's just say I'm calling that a win, and I might never let you hear the end of it. Ready, set, don't wipe out. Oh, he already took off. Nice. Drake takes off down the hill. I'm supposed to be the cheater. Hey! You chase after him, the wind whips against your face and you pick up speed. Drake maintains his pace ahead of you. Off to the side, you see Olivia and Richard gently skiing and talking together. Oh, Richard, you're so hilarious. Oh, I don't like this. I should spray Olivia with snow. Awesome. Swoosh! You pick up a spray of snow that flurries right into Olivia. Eek! That's nice. Further down the slope, you see a large fallen branch. Drake swerves to go around it. Okay. Watch yourself, Williams. What do I do? I'ma jump it. You jump and sail straight over the branch. Wow, I'ma win this thing. I'm here to win it. That was close. With your uninterrupted momentum, you speed past Drake and finish first. Oh, yes. I win. I'm not too thrilled, but if you're going to hop a branch like that, you deserve to win. Obviously. I mean, you did try to cheat, but I still won. Nice moves, Williams. Drake takes a deep breath, inhaling the cool, crisp mountain air. This trip hasn't been half bad so far. Shame that tomorrow it's back to waltzing and bowing and all that. Bowing, sorry. At least I can ski better than I can waltz, which is barely at all. Yeah, true. Wait, you can't waltz? I thought you danced with Richard. Well, yeah, but he did a lot of the work. Why? Is it important? Oh, Williams. What would you do without me? There's a ball tomorrow. All of the ladies are expected to dance the Cordonian waltz in front of everyone. Why doesn't Maxwell tell me all these important stuff? Oh, it's fine. I'll figure it out maybe. How am I gonna figure it out? I'm going to look stupid in front of everyone, aren't I? If I say this, maybe he'll tease me. Whatever. I'll look bad in front of Richard. Hey, on the bright side, it'll probably be hilarious to watch. I knew it. Drake, if you're going to go through the trouble of warning me about the waltz, then you should at least tell me how to do it. Sadly, I can't help you there. I don't know the steps. Oh, who does then? Okay, Hannah. You should ask Hannah. If anyone knows everything forwards and backwards, it's that one. Yeah, that's actually true. Yeah, maybe. Not maybe. I'm sure about that. You and Drake glide over to where the rest of the group is meeting after their ski runs. Still brushing the snow off her, Olivia gathers everyone's attention. It's time to head over to the lodge. I've had enough snow for today. Thanks for the race. I actually had fun. Maybe you're not as bad as you seem. You're going soft on me, Williams. Your feet crunch in the snow with each step as you and Drake follow the crowd toward the chateau. Let's get warm. Back at the lodge, you sit with Drake, Hannah, and Maxwell by the fire as you sip a mug of steaming hot chocolate. Yum. Did you have fun today, Sarah? Today was super fun. I mean, I actually won a race and all, but no big deal. And now we have hot chocolate. Lovely. This is wonderful. Look, little marshmallows shaped like hearts. Just adorable. Watch yourself. It's got incoming. Olivia. Well, hello, my dear guest. I hope you're enjoying my spectacular hosting. I always enjoy my time here with you, Olivia. It's something. That's a nice reply. Olivia narrows her eyes at Drake, her smile thin. Did you see that we have eclairs, Drake? They always remind me of your darling little Savannah. Oh, Savannah. She gobbled them down like a sow at the trough. Who is Savannah? Acha. Okay. Don't talk about my sister. It's his sister. Okay. Why haven't we seen her yet? Why ever not? She was such a fixture at court. And then she just up and disappeared? Okay. You never told us what happened. And usually gossip is quick to spread. She left because of people like you. She always was a sensitive sort. Ladies like that don't last long here. Okay, she's so cool. No wonder she lives in a cold place like this. You see Drake's jaw clench, but then he suddenly glances at his watch and relaxes. You know what? I've just remembered. I've got somewhere I need to be, if you'll excuse me. Drake bows curtly to you, Hannah and Olivia, then turns and strides off. Wait, Drake dear, come back. I wasn't finished with you. Man, she's so hurtful. Olivia? Tell me about Drake's sister. There's not much to tell. She thought she could fit in with the nobility, and she was wrong. I guess she figured that faster than some and took her leave. Okay, that feels like a direct taunt towards me. I don't like it, Olivia. Shut up. Though, by all accounts, it was rather sudden. Overnight, she packed up her things and disappeared without a word. Now, as charming as this has been, I've got to get back to Prince Richard. I've promised him a private tour of the Lithicos castle. Alright, whatever. Bye-bye, darling. With a wink, she flounces out of the room and you look from Hannah to Maxwell. I can't believe the things Olivia says. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, Maxwell, do you have any idea what happened to Drake's sister? Not really. It's like Olivia said. Savannah used to hang out with us, but one day she left. I'm not sure why. The last time I saw her, she was her usual friendly self. Anyway, Drake clearly didn't want to talk about it, so I don't cry. Poor Drake. Yeah, he doesn't usually let Olivia get under his skin like that. Well, I think this was beyond the limit. Well, I hope he's alright. I saw him go outside, but it's not a good idea to be out there right now. I've heard there's a storm brewing tonight. What can he be thinking? Okay, there's a storm coming, and it's not good. As you look outside, you see the sky darken and take an ominous tone. Ooh, that's nice, but that's not nice at all. Alright, you stand up. There's only one way to find out. You mean you're thinking about following him? What should I do? Turn in for the night or see what Drake is up to? Obviously this one. See what Drake is up to. Dress to impress. This snow bunny outfit has unlocked the scene with Drake. Oh, that's nice. That's actually nice. I'm not wearing this jacket for nothing. I'm going to see what he's doing. So if I hadn't chose this jacket, I wouldn't have got the chance to follow him. Pulling your coat tighter around you, you follow Drake off into the dark night. The dark night. The dark night rises. Dark night. A ways outside the chateau, you spot Drake in a clearing staring into the woods. I should spy on Drake. I'm a spy. Crouching, spy, a detective. The dark night. Crouching down, you watch as Drake punches a gloved hand into a tree. Oh, tough man. Damn it! Damn it! Drake looks up at the sky. Where did you go, Savannah? Why didn't you tell me? Man. Suddenly, Drake's gaze snaps over to where you're hiding. Who's over there? Come out now! It's just me. Sarah, how long have you been watching me? What are you even doing out here? I saw you going off on your own, close to dark, with a storm coming, and I wanted to make sure you were okay. After what Olivia said to you, I could see that it struck something inside you. No offense, but you're the last person I need looking out for me. Okay. Thanks. Thanks. How do I be angry while I say thanks? Thanks. I don't know. That's not what I... Oh no. I'm not trying to be a joke, Williams, but well, you surely seem like a joke. I only meant that you shouldn't have to worry about me. You should only be looking out for yourself. What did you come out here to do exactly? If you really want to know, you'll have to trust me. Trust you? What is he gonna do? I trust you with my life, maybe. Richard trusts you after all. Yeah, good point. I'm glad his opinion counts for something. Here goes. Drake reaches out and shoves you. What? Why would he do that? Hey! For a second you struggle to keep your footing, but then you topple over, landing on your back in the soft snow. Oh, that's amazing. That's such an amazing view. So nice. And you look up to see the most star-filled sky you've ever laid eyes on. As you watch, shooting stars light up the night. I don't see any shooting stars. That's lame, dude. It would have been so cool to watch. Well, you can't expect everything. Drake. You hear a thud as Drake lands next to you. Yes, my lady. Ooh, so formal. This is absolutely gorgeous. Nothing beats a clear view of the sky during a meteor shower. I'm glad I didn't miss this. Really? Would have figured you'd rather eat bonbons than dress up tiny dogs or whatever Olivia had planned for the night. Not exactly my scene, yeah. Obviously not. As the two of you stare up at the sky, you see clouds starting to creep across the stars. Storm is coming. Looks like we were just in time to see this before the storm comes. Yeah, I didn't want to miss it. I used to do this with my younger sister Savannah every year. Aww. We grew up around the Royals. My dad used to be security for Richard and his brother, and my sister and I were allowed to hang out with them. Richard and I ended up getting close, even though I didn't have the lineage to merit it. Savannah, on the other hand, got along with everyone, and they were all friendly with her. She loved living at the palace when we were kids, being around all the pretty dresses and jewelry. But it got harder when she was older. What happened? It was hard on her. She couldn't take it, I guess, after what happened with... I failed her. I couldn't protect her. I couldn't protect her from this place, or these people. Drake puts his hand over his face and is quiet for a moment. Sorry, I guess I'm still not ready to talk about it. This is more than I've talked about it with anyone in the last year, actually. Really? Does this mean you trust me? I don't trust anyone, Williams. Oh, man. But if I did, I'd start with you. Oh, that's so sweet. But, does that mean he doesn't trust Richard as well? Ooh. Drake, that's probably the nicest thing you've ever said to anyone. Maybe. The two of you stare at the sky silently for a moment, watching for shooting stars. Oh, let me watch some too. As more snowflakes begin to fall, Drake sighs. We better get back. It'd be quite the scandal if I let one of the prince's suitors freeze to death out here on my watch. I'd hate for my untimely demise to cause you any difficulty. Well, not to mention that Maxwell would never let me hear the end of it. I'm sure even Bertrand would be upset in his own way. Bertrand? He'd only be upset if he couldn't turn it into some kind of press event. Now let's go. Shooting stars, you spent a night under the stars with Drake. He won't be taking any wrong signals from you, right? I'm not sure about this. You and Drake walk slowly back, trudging through the snow and wind. I won't take his hand, sorry. No wrong signals coming from me. Tease Drake for coming out here. The next time you tell me that I'm doing something stupid, I'm going to remind you about your little walk in the blizzard. I do plenty of stupid stuff, Williams. I'm practically the king of stupid. Oh, really? Really, you just don't know me very well yet. But maybe that'll change. Maybe. But at the back at the chateau, as you and Drake are about to head up the stairs to your rooms, you spot Hannah. Sweet, sweet Hannah. There you are. You're up late. I couldn't sleep with you and Drake out there in the storm. I'm sorry we kept you up. Oh, I'm just glad you got back before it really started coming down out there. But you must be freezing, Drake, dressed in just that. Yeah, I'm going to go get changed. Good night, ladies. Good night. As Drake heads up the staircase, Hannah turns to you. I suppose we'd better go to sleep too. The Cordonian Waltz is tomorrow after all, and we'll need a good night's rest to pull it off successfully. I don't think any amount of sleep is going to improve my chances. Because I don't know how the walls, the Cordonian walls. What do you mean? What do you mean? As Drake, this Drake, as Drake reminded me earlier, I don't know the walls. I wish we had the real Drake in this story. That would be fun. Oh dear, it's rather late, but I suppose if you wanted to, I could show you. Hannah, I'd love to waltz with you. Lovely. Let's learn that Cordonian waltz. You follow Hannah into her room and together the two of you push aside furniture to create a space for dancing. I appreciate you helping me like this. It's the least I can do after you cheered me up at the masquerade. I'm just sorry that I didn't think to ask if you knew it. It's a good thing Drake's looking out for you. Yeah. Alright, the Cordonian waltz. How complicated is this going to be? It depends. Do you consider yourself a good dancer? Well, of course. I dance like an angel. Oh, then this shouldn't be a problem. If you have a good sense of rhythm, I think you can pick it up easily enough. Now, the Cordonian waltz is a choreographed dance with specific steps. As long as you know your part for each of them, you can follow your partner easily. I'll put on some music and we'll start. Hannah starts a waltz on a portable speaker she set up. She tells Steve, "Ready? I'll be the prince in this situation so you can learn your part." Lady Sarah. Prince Richard. You curtsy to her in an over-exaggerated way, making her laugh. She bows to you. Now we get into position. Let's have you put your left hand on my shoulder. As you do so, she takes your right hand with her left and puts her other hand on your waist. She starts guiding you. This is the box step. It's the most basic movement and kind of like a bridge between the other steps. Okay, so far so good. Yeah, now the next three steps are the reverse, spin and the twirl. First I'm going to lead you into the reverse. So the three steps will be reverse, spin and twirl. Done, got it. You feel her shift, her weight and stride forward. I should move backwards. Well, that would make sense. You move backwards as Hannah strides forward. The two of you effortlessly glide in a straight line down the length of the room. Perfect. As always. I mostly just followed your lead. That's a good thing. You're able to read me. Did you feel when I put that slight pressure on your hand? It was a cue to move backwards. Yeah, it's an interesting way of communicating. Ultimately, the waltz is like conversation. You and your partner make a connection, responding to each other to make the dance work. It's kind of romantic. Actually, the Cordonian waltz is supposed to be a courtship dance, which is undoubtedly why Olivia chose it for the formal ball tomorrow. A courtship dance? Yeah, the last two steps are meant to be the most flirtatious. Okay. There's the spin. Just relax into this. There's the spin. Just relax into this. That's how I was supposed to say it. She moves so that she's grasping your hands as she begins to swing you around. I should relax, just like she told me to. You let her swing you around, laughing as the room spins around you. This feels too fun to be a formal dance. Am I doing it right? You're doing it perfectly. Again, as always, at last, Hannah steadies you, pulling you back into the box step. Do you ever get a little dizzy from all the spinning? There's a trick to that. Just focus your attention on one thing. Okay, I'll focus on you. Oops, plus romance. I suppose that works. She blushes but continues her instructions. Now for the last move, the twirl. She twirls you so that you're facing away from her, her arms coming around you. As the waltz music fades, you sway together for a second and you can feel the warmth of her body against yours. It's hot. So hot. Hannah clears her throat and steps away from you, her hands dropping. And that's the Cordonian waltz. She's shocked. If you know these steps, you'll be more than fine. How do you feel about dancing it now? I feel very confident I can do it tomorrow. I'm so glad. Dancing Queens, you learned Ecuadorian waltz with Hannah. You're a good teacher. Ice skating, waltzing. How are you so good at all these things? Well, she got lessons. As much as I'd like to claim its natural talent, it's as I said before. My parents have been pushing me to learn all the courtly and social arts since I was young. You must have had no free time. Between school, dance, music lessons, and etiquette classes, my schedule was very full. My parents expected a lot. They were devastated when they didn't have any sons, so they pinned all of their hopes on me. Oh man. Every day of my life has been about grooming me to bring fame and fortune to my family by winning some prince or noble's hand. For all the good it's done after my last engagement. Do you mind if I ask what happened with your fiancé? Peter was an English nobleman. He was well off and had an ancestral title and home. All of the things my parents always wanted for our family. We'd spend long afternoons horseback riding and sailing. He was very kind. That and he'd been raised with romantic notions about true love and a lifetime of happily wedded bliss. It should have been perfect. But there's always a but. But the simple truth was that I didn't love him. My parents never asked me what I wanted, never gave me reason to think that I might always also love the person I'd marry. So when he proposed, I knew I had to accept. I tried my best, but he became suspicious. At our engagement party a month before the wedding, he cornered me and he asked me if he was what I wanted. And even though I told him what he wanted to hear, I couldn't keep back the tears. He knew me well enough by then to know. He could tell that I was miserable. I don't think he ever understood why I would have gone through with it. But he was born to power and privilege. How could he understand? He was good enough not to make a big deal of it, but there was a lot of ugly speculation about why we parted. Especially because he got married shortly after to another woman. Okay, that's serious. She lets out a long, slow breath. But that's behind me now. My parents are upset with me, but they've given me another chance. Here, now. But aren't you worried that history will repeat itself with Richard? Well, I'm hopeful that things will turn out differently this time, and I don't want to disappoint my parents. Besides, it's not all bad. They've been pressuring me to spend more time with you. Okay, why is that? Why me? Oh, you've got a special connection with the prince. And if I'm close to you, then I'm closer to Richard. Wow. Is that all this is, a way for you to get close to the prince? Oh, no, it's not only that. That's what my parents are hoping for, but I like spending time with you, Sarah. Oh, that's sweet. I really like spending time with you too, Hannah. Plus romance. I'm glad. The sound of the clock on the mantel striking midnight interrupts you. I've got to get back before my chariot turns into a pumpkin. I suppose we should get some sleep. Yeah, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night, Sarah. Impulsively, Hannah reaches over and hugs you. You return her embrace with a grin. Good night. There's so much sorrow all around these nobles, man. So sorrowful backstories. Such sorrow. I feel very sad for all of them. What will happen at Olivia's ball? Find out in the next chapter. Oh, I will for sure. Chapter 7 complete. Well, that was the end of another chapter. Hope you all enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more and remember to be limitless.